Hey everyone, this is Marco and I hope you're all doing well. I'm here at the hospital today. It's a beautiful day here in Christchurch. It's nice and clear outside and I'm actually doing my very last chemotherapy treatment. So yes, this is my final one. And after this, I'm done and dusted with everything. So I'm pretty excited about that. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about what I'm doing for my chemo at the moment. I'm going to give you a few more details about what exactly they're giving me at the moment. So that is a drug called Methotrexate. So I'll cover what is Methotrexate, which is a drug that I'm going to show you right now. Alright, so that was Methotrexate along with a couple of other IV fluids they're giving me alongside the actual drug. And also I'm going to be talking about what is a Kickline. A Kickline is basically the line that they put in my chest where everything goes through, where they put in the chemo. If they need to take any blood samples out of me, they use that Kickline, which is actually goes in my chest. So they're going to be taking that out of me soon after I'm done with this treatment, which is not long now. And also some of the thoughts I have about wrapping up my chemotherapy, and also the things that I'm looking forward to, what's coming up next for me, and the things that, I'm just excited about basically. So before we continue, if I could just ask you guys to like this video, and also if you could subscribe to my channel, as that would really help me a lot. So anyway, I'm here at the hospital to finish my last treatment, and I'm happy about that, of course. It's been quite a journey for me, and finishing this last chapter is really a big deal for me, and it means I can move on to the next one. My whole treatment which started about 5 months ago, consisted of a few things. First, it was 6 cycles of r-epoch, and I've posted updates about those cycles in my other videos, so check that out later on if you haven't yet. That gives you a little more detail about each cycle and the things I've experienced. And I did a lumbar puncture so they could get a bit of spinal fluid from me and check if I had any lymphoma cells in my nervous system, which I didn't, fortunately. And they also gave me my first shot of methotrexate during the lumbar puncture. Then I also did my second methotrexate treatment after my 6th cycle, which happened a couple of weeks ago. And today I'm doing my 3rd and final round of methotrexate, which will take a little more longer to clear, but it's not long from now. And right now, they're done giving me the actual drug. I'm just in the process of flushing it out of my system. I'm hooked up to some IV fluids, which is mostly potassium chloride, just to flush it out of me, but that's pretty much it after that. So I just wanted to get a bit into what methotrexate is. I'll record a separate video about this later on, but I'll give you a quick overview now. So it's a drug used to treat different types of cancer, which includes the one I had, which is, lymphoma. And it can be given as a liquid or a tablet form, or in my case, they fed it through my Kickline. And it can be given in combination with other drugs. And there are some known side effects, which include like feeling hot or flushed, shivering, itching or a skin rash, swelling of the face or mouth, pain in your back, tummy, or chest. And there is a small chance of developing an infection, which does lead to a fever. So if you're having this sort of treatment, you need to tell the nurse if you're starting to feel unwell, you get a sore throat or a cough, you feel out of breath or dizzy, or you get diarrhea or passing urine becomes painful. Luckily, I didn't really experience any of those things, but they did give me some medication just to make sure the pH levels in my blood are okay, and other meds to make sure I was safe. But anyway, I should be done soon, and then they'll take out the Kickline from my chest, which, I'm happy about, of course. But what is a Kickline, you might ask? Well, it stands for Chest Inserted Central Catheter. It's also known simply as a central line, and I'll put a link in the description below if you want to learn more about it. But basically, it's a long, thin, hollow tube made from silicone rubber. It connects to a vein near the heart, and the nurse and doctors use it for things like chemotherapy, blood transfusions, antibiotics, and IV fluids, like in my case. So I'll make a separate video about that later on and get into more detail about it. But for now, I just wanted to say that, I'm relieved that they're going to take it out of me soon. Let's move on to some of my thoughts on wrapping up. So looking back to when I started, I really have come a long way. I remember crying on the procedure table when I did my first biopsy because I was just, terrified of the journey ahead, and I didn't know what was going to happen to me at that point. So I was like flying in the dark, like I've said before. And then on top of that, going through all 6 cycles, which to me felt like beating levels in a video game that got progressively harder and harder. So it's been a challenging and exhausting journey, and I'm grateful that I made it all the way through. I am feeling great and excited about what's coming up ahead. I am looking forward to my next PET CT scan, which is happening a few weeks from now, and I'm just waiting for all the chemo to leave my body so nothing lights up in the scan. And I'm also looking forward to going back to work, seeing my coworkers, and I'm looking forward to getting back into my normal routine and enjoying life with my wife and my boys. Because it's like one of those things that you really take for granted, and going through this whole process made me appreciate the gift of being alive and just enjoying life. Going through the treatment, meant that my life was going to be on hold for a while. So I really crave that sense of normalcy and being able to enjoy life's small pleasures. And so coming out of the treatment, I am grateful that I'm on my way to getting back into all those things with a new outlook on life. So once I've recovered from this last treatment and they've taken out my Kickline, I can work on my fitness for one thing. I can do cycling, take walks in the park, play a game called Ring Fit Adventure on the Nintendo Switch, and maybe even take up martial arts. I found a Japanese jiu-jitsu dojo near my place and already talked to them a few months back. So when the time is right, I want to sign up for a class. So that's going to be interesting. So even though this is my last chemo, it's not the end. Pretty far from it, actually. I still plan to post updates on how I'm doing after the treatment and my reflections and all of that. And more importantly, I will also want to post a lot of informative and helpful content for anyone who's gone through or going through the same thing I did. And above all, I really just want to give a message of hope and inspiration to all of you. Like I said, when I started this whole process, I was terrified. But now I can tell you that I'm still here and still alive and kicking. And that it does get better. You just have to give it time. It was an uphill climb for a while, but with the help of God, my family, my friends, and of course the healthcare team who's been taking care of me, I was able to make it this far, and I'll keep going. I mean, after all, I have a lot to live for. Anyway, that's it from me. And thank you so much again for watching. Please feel free to share your comments below, hit that like button, and subscribe if you haven't already. So take care everyone, and we'll talk again soon. Bye!